I'm here with Cullen today, who works in the butterfly garden of Bonita Nature Place, and I was wanting to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
How long have you been with Bonita Nature Place?
Well, we started the Bonita Nature Place 3 or 4 years ago. I forget the exact date. I live on the street here and was involved in the acquisition of it for the city, and was at the time we got the property out on the Bonita Local Planning Agency, and it all kind of melds together in my memory. But I got involved in this in the very early stages of the acquisition of the property.
Okay. And what about the butterfly garden? How long have you been working with the butterfly garden?
The butterfly garden's been going strong for about a year now, and it's doing great. You know, it takes a while with a butterfly garden to get some of the plants were here, but most of them were brought in and put in an appropriate spot outside, and it takes them a while to start growing and blooming well and providing food to the butterflies. So it's an evolutionary process over a period of a year, a couple of years. And I expect it to really grow tremendously this rainy season, and it's doing very well. It'll be really booming by the end of this rainy season, I think.
What inspired you to do your research, which you're sitting in front of?
Well, butterflies are like flying flowers, and it's just a nice thing to see around here. This area has one great advantage for the placement of an outdoor butterfly garden. I'm stressing outdoor because an awful lot of butterfly gardens are enclosed inside a cage. There's something really interesting about having one that's just totally open to the outside. It is outside, and the butterflies just come and go because they want to be here. So that's attractive. I think I find that aspect of this garden very attractive. And one of the really great advantages of this location is we are surrounded by preserved property here.
Oh, yeah.
So we have no pesticides being sprayed here. We have, in east of here, we have 66,000 acres of preserve adjacent to this property. That's CREW, the Corkscrew Regional Ecosystem Watershed. To the south, we have about 40 acres of preserved property due south of here. North of here, we have another 180 acres of preserved property. To the east, we have 30, 40 more acres of preserved property. So, and the people in this neighborhood don't do much spraying either, if any at all. So we have the advantage of not having overspray from neighbors coming into the yard. We don't do any spraying here. So the butterflies do real well here.
That's good. So what about your research? Can you explain to me what inspired you to do your particular research?
Well, this, more than really research, this right here is to provide a really great attraction for people that have never handled or been up close to a butterfly. Not that you want to handle them much, but for a child to be able to take one of these butterflies when it emerges in these cages, to be able to carefully take it outside and let it have its first flight is a great thrill. So it's that really more than research. I think we would be open to a research project if a group of students like yourselves wanted to do something here. We would cooperate with that. But really what I'm doing is bringing eggs in from outside. Let me back up just a little bit about the eggs. If you have if any given butterfly egg outside on a plant has about a 2% chance of survival in the wild. And that's normal. It's because of ants and frogs and birds, lizards, and also, of course, pesticides, although that's not the case out here. But even out here, it's about a 2% chance of survival. Probably, well, it'd be 0 in a lot of areas because of spray, and it would drop the percentage down to 0. But here, small percentage of making it outside, and if you bring them inside and raise them in these protected cages, they have a 98% chance of survival to a full-grown butterfly. So it's a tremendous difference. But the really great advantage of that is it gives you the opportunity to take them outside and release them so the kids can do that. So, but I would like to see some research projects done here. I think it would be a good idea. We have a good environment for it and plenty of source of material outside, the plants and the animals, the eggs and the caterpillars and so forth.
Can you show us your research?
Sure. This is a nylon cage, and that's great habitat for the butterflies, for the caterpillars, because the predators can't get in there to them, and for the butterflies because it's all soft and rounded edges, and when they do emerge, if you're not here immediately to release them, they don't beat themselves up against hard materials because this is all soft. And this is full of the Batis polydamus caterpillar. It's the also sometimes called a gold rim, common name gold rim butterfly. They're in there eating, that's their host plant, that's Aristolochia, also known as pipevine. And that's a plant they must have. The eggs have to be placed on that by the adult butterflies. They have to be laid on this plant and they have to be able to eat that or to get to be a nice big fat caterpillar, and then they'll pupate and go through their metamorphosis, eventually emerge as a butterfly.
Okay. And then, what about the other two ones behind you?
All right, the plant in the next one is a cassia, and the butterfly is one of the sulfur butterflies. That's a yellow butterfly or an orange butterfly. And let's see, one particularly interesting thing about them is the shape of their chrysalis. There's one right there. When you see that outside, it looks like a leaf. See, that doesn't look much like a butterfly. It looks like a leaf. And that's camouflage for that particular chrysalis. And that one's just about ready to emerge. There are two in here right now, and this one, there's one up right there. And this one's a little darker in color. This one, I wouldn't be surprised if that one emerged tomorrow morning. Keep an eye on that.
And the one behind you.
And this one is, in here we have self-fritillary and zebra longwing. And we have a number of chrysalis in here also from those same two species. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 chrysalis in there, and they all could emerge at any time. They generally tend to emerge overnight or early in the morning. So probably not today, but possibly tomorrow, we'll see. And this is, the plants in here are cassia. And, excuse me, one of the plants is cassia, the other one is corky stem passion. There are two different plants in there separated from one another, but the butterflies know which one they want to be on. And then that one is just some, that cage there is all chrysalis. I don't have any live caterpillars in there. I take, if I have chrysalis that I want that either fall off of the plant or that I want to put them in a different location, I move them into that one.
And to wrap up, where do you see the butterfly garden in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I think it'll stay where it is, but hopefully, but it's going to become more abundant with plants. We're going to definitely add more plants to it, and the plants will be bigger, and the butterflies hopefully will be more numerous. Although we have a great number of butterflies out there, where it's been really successful. But I think it'll attract more and more butterflies as it grows and becomes more lush.
True. And what about Bonita Nature Place? Where do you see Bonita Nature Place in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh, well, hopefully just a lot of visitors. We need people to know about it and to come here and appreciate what really old native Florida looks like. This is really wonderful native natural habitat here, particularly in our walking trails. We have a lot of plant life in the walking trails that you don't see much in a lot of other areas because of habitat loss. We have a lot of ferns and mosses here that are really beautiful and somewhat unusual.
All right, Colin, thank you for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.